want to sit up there and put this proclamation out there right now. And I don't want people to take this wrong. But on this particular day, at this particular moment, in this particular environment, I don't give a damn about Colin Kaepernick's issues. That's right, I said it. Come to me Saturday. Come to me Monday. Come to me next week. Come to me next month. I'm with you. Damn it, come to me in a couple of hours, but not today. As we get set to start the 2018 National Football League season, a season that I have been clamoring for, that I have been starving for to get started, I'm telling you right now, I don't care. I don't care. And let me tell my man Rodney and other people, you got to get out of my head. Thank you very much. Here's the deal. I don't care about that stuff right now. Not literally speaking. Of course I care about the issues. Of course I care about our community. Of course I care about all those things. But for the next few hours, that is not what's on my mind. Because when Nike had this thing going on and they decided to use the 30th commemoration of their Just Do It campaign, where Colin Kaepernick is the face of the commemoration, and now you've got this commercial out with him, basically serving as an inspiration to the desolate, the disabled, the disenfranchised, and beyond. With everybody from Shaquem Griffin, the NFL player that is now with the Seattle Seahawks that was desperate to get invited to the combine, didn't happen. Wanted to be drafted, which did happen. And now he's going to end up starting for the Seattle Seahawks. Okay? The commercial is incredibly touching. It's incredibly inspirational. I'm happy about it. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. We're hearing that Nike is going to air it tonight, and supposedly that's going to alienate some of the football populace that exist out there. I'm telling everybody, get the hell over it. Get the hell over it. We got some football to get into here. The reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles are hosting the Atlanta Falcons tonight at Lincoln Financial Field. That's on my mind. That's on my mind. And damn it, every team in every city in the National Football League, you got stuff that should be on your mind. You got stuff that you should be concerned about as it pertains to your football team. Don't use this stuff as an excuse to get distracted. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, to borrow that old adage. You don't have to sit up there and ignore the Colin Kaepernick issue to love your football. Nor do you have to embrace it to love your football. There is no excuse to alienate yourself from the National Football League at this moment in time. I'm here to support it. This is what I want to talk about here. The commercials are given. Nike's a given. And the fact that they now have ingratiated themselves into the whole Colin Kaepernick debate. So you got Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, stealing the narrative, hijacking the issue. And now you got Nike, which I think could work as an advantage to the NFL and its players, because since Nike is in the middle of it, now if you're the president of the United States, you're attacking Nike if you try to attack these players. So the Nike organization essentially, and the Nike brand essentially has placed itself in the position of buffer to absorb some of the shrapnel of shots that'll come in their direction of the players. I think it's a good thing. I really, really do. And having said all of that, let me give everybody a reason why, you know what? You got other stuff to be concerned about right now. If you are the city of Philadelphia, what are your Eagles going to do? When's Carson Wentz come back? Can Nick Foles hold it down for the time being? Oh, by the way, you got Jay Ajayi and Corey Clement. You got Alshon Jeffrey going to be out for a few games, but ultimately he'll be back. Nelson Aguilar will be there. Mike Wallace will be there. Your offensive line is intact. Zach Ertz is returning. Your defense and the kind of things that you did, and you acquired Michael Bennett in the offseason, you might be better now than you were last year. Philadelphia got that to think about. You're the Atlanta Falcons, excuse me. When are you going to win a Super Bowl? We hear about Matt Ryan all the time, being some elite quarterback getting $30 million a year. Last time I saw Matt Ryan in a position that really, really counted, he blew a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl to Tom Brady. Now, granted, the defense ultimately gave up those points to the New England Patriots, but last time I checked in the sport of football, when you score, you don't get the ball back. Your defense has to go out there and get the football for you by getting stops or getting a turnover. And in order for that to happen, you get what? Guess what? It could have been nullified if Matt Ryan had done his job. He didn't. And now, after last year's reprieve, where Steve Sarkisian comes on as your offensive coordinator, and you and him ain't vibing necessarily, and he ain't taking chances, and he's being relatively pedestrian, and the running game ain't the same, and the passing game ain't the same, and Julio Jones can't get passes in the red zone or can't get into the end zone for crying out loud. You expect this year to be better with Steve Sarkisian as your offensive coordinator. He better be. And on the defensive side of the ball, we know that Atlanta predicates itself on defense, and we know Vic Beasley is a stud, but the reality is that they're relatively undersized. So they can hit, they can tackle, but they're relatively undersized, and if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you ground and pound and beat them down and call it a day.